Thank you, Madam President. Good to see you as always. Madam President, I'd like to start with a quote. Woodrow Wilson said, "Democracy is not so much a form of government, but a set of principles." What do we want that principle to say? Man will not remember what we say here, but they will remember what we have done. And the reason why democracy has endured throughout the generations, has traveled throughout the centuries, and will last throughout millenniums is because the people deserve, the people have a right to their voice to be heard in government. It is through their consent that we have the ability to govern. And that's why the EM law is such an unconstitutional threat to our principles as a state. What is we going to say to future generations? Are we going to say that we're only going to adhere to their rights unless it's an emergency? We're only going to adhere to their rights unless we believe that there's a financial crisis that must be solved? Madam President, I argue and say to you that the Constitution is a set of principles that we must adhere to in times of crisis, not abandon. It is a set of principles that we must honor, not ignore, that we must jealously defend and guard to our last breath, not abdicate them when things get tough. EM law is wrong. It takes away the precious, sacred right of the people to exercise their franchise. There is one thing you should never do as an elected official, and that is mess with the right to vote. There has been too much blood that has been shed. There have been too many people who have lost their lives. There has been too much sacrifice that has been made for that right. And for us to treat this in such a cavalier and irresponsible fashion is wrong. And it will have consequences. But Madam President, just because we're on that path doesn't mean we have to stay there. There's another path. There's another solution. It's called actually passing public policy that will reform the issues of the cities that we had these unconstitutional emergency managers in the first place. Through the Constitution, through the powers that we've been given as legislators. I think the facts, to me, to say that we are going to abandon democracy for tyranny or accept bad government in exchange for good government is like me saying I'm going to light myself on fire for fear of burning to death. It makes no sense. None whatsoever. What does that say about us as a state? That when things got hard, instead of pulling together and protecting the rights of the people and solving the issues that we as elected officials were here to solve, we violated our constitutional oath that we all swore the Bible to defend. It did things that we had no business or no power or no authority for the people to do. Madam President, I say that's cowardice. It's wrong. It's a better way. I have solutions. There's other solutions out there if you would just listen. But it's up to you. Let's come together. Let's actually have positive, relentless cooperation. Let's come together and let's solve these problems with democracy at the helm, not in spite of. So, Madam President, I say to you, thank you, appreciate that. Not that I don't like seeing you, but it's bad timing. I appreciate well, no, that wouldn't be true. Madam President, let's come together for the greater good of this state, for the future of this state. If we want to achieve true American exceptionalism in Michigan, we must have democracy. Let's repeal the EM law, and let's go towards democracy of greatness together. Thank you, Madam President, and I want my words printed in the Journal.